Hello, I hope you're having a good day. My name's TR Rose with MeowAbout Cosplay. I'm working on the body for my Nall plush, and you see I've got the stripe on his back with this thick fur, and I've got it on his belly as well. His feet are added on, and I am using quilt batting cut into circles to put in the base of his feet so that it'll have just something a little bit more sturdy than stuffing, but nothing as thick as interfacing. Another tool that I'm using to stuff this plushie are these hemostats that I got from a first aid kit. These are nice because you can grip your stuffing and get it inside, and the long nose on these hemostats helps you work the stuffing into places like this long skinny tail. It's a lot easier to put the hemostats there than to try to work your fingers through that part. Hello, so here's an update on what's going on with Nall. I finished up the body, and I'm really happy with the look that the body has. The little toe beans turned out really cute, the belly looks good, the chest fluff, the back fur, the tail, that all looks the way I was hoping it would. But I'm not really happy with the face. I'm having a couple issues with it. For one thing, his eyes are far too low. I was hoping that they'd be higher up on the head. The mouth, you can't see at all from the angle of this plush. I don't know if it's the way I sewed it on, but he's looking down too much. Like, he's got a cute little face, but you can't even see it. And honestly, on the artwork of Nall, that's the cutest is when he has his mouth open. I'm not really happy with the tilt of the eyes. I tried to add these little cheek poofs thinking it would make him look better, and they just look weird. I know he would still need to have a head floof added in, but he's just got too much forehead. The body is great, but the head's just not working for me. So my next plan is to try a different head. I'm going to seam rip this off, which I know that sounds horrible, but I'll have the body finished, and I'm going to add a new head, which I'm going to start with Choly Knight's free Pikachu head pattern and see if that gives me something closer to what I was hoping for Nall. I'm not sure if the scale will be right, but I'm going to start with this, and then I'm going to get out a Sharpie and sketch the eye and features on him to see if I can figure out what kind of shapes I want before we start working on redoing the embroidery. So here is my revision on Nall. This is not final. This is a mock-up of the head, the ears, and the head floof. I've drawn the features on with Sharpie markers just to get an idea of the placement. Now, I'm not sure that this is quite right. I think the eyes might be a little bit big. I think they might be a little bit too close together. And as my husband said, this kind of looks more like a baby Nall than the Nall we see in the game. But I think this is a whole lot closer. I also want to bring this chin seam down just a little bit longer so it'll connect here with the neck. But I'm much more pleased with this. It seems like it works with the body, and it really looks a lot more like the character. So the nice thing about this mock-up is I can take these ears and this floof off, and I can reuse them in my next mock-up, which, by the way, this is done with fleece. There's a little bit of scrap minky in here, like the back head stripe, but that's just because I had it left over. When I work with minky, because there tends to be a lot of waste, especially when I do embroidery, I keep my extra pieces in a Ziploc. And then if I need a scrap for something, or if I need a small piece like paw pads, I can just reach into my bag of leftover pieces rather than getting out all the yardage. So just to show you the two of them side by side, it's amazing they're so similar, but the one that's the mock-up looks a whole lot more like the character. It's interesting because you would think by every other metric, the quality of the materials, the embroidery, the details, this one's just fleece with some Sharpie marks, but it looks better. Even though I spent a lot of time on this one, you have to realize sometimes that your first attempt doesn't work. That's a difficult decision to make, especially when you've spent time and effort and money on materials, but sometimes you have to start over. Once I get Nall completely finished up with a new remade head, the last thing that I plan to add to him is a set of wings. This is from the Choly Knight Anthro Bird and Harpy doll collection. This is her wing pattern, and I plan to make a set of these to put on his shoulders. I think that will be the finishing touch to make Nall really pop.